Hey everybody, welcome back to Bones and Brews. So today we're going to make some baby back ribs on the Weber Smoky Mountain 22-inch. If you remember back from episode 3, we were making that rib rub, so we're definitely going to use that today. We've got 2 racks of baby back ribs ready to go here. I've already pulled the membranes off the back. If you have trouble pulling those membranes off at home, a great little tip is take a paper towel, find the corner, and just start pulling that membrane. It should come right off. So what we're going to do is take the rib rub. I'm going to flip them over, put a little light coating on the back of these ribs. Just kind of spread it on there. And then when I flip them back over, I'm going to go pretty heavy on the top. So I've already got the smoker at temp at 225. Let's go ahead and throw them on. Alright, so for this first stage of the ribs, they're going to be on the smoker for about 2 hours. I've got a little applewood in there as well to give them that little sweet taste. Then we'll come back in a little while and we will wrap our ribs. Alright, so my baby back ribs are on the smoker for a little over 2 hours. Now we're ready for the next stage. So I've pulled off one rack already here, and I've laid them on a piece of foil. What I'll do next is I'm going to spray a little bit of apple juice that I was also using as a spritzer on top of the ribs a couple times while they were cooking that first 2 hours. So I'm going to put a little bit of apple juice kind of on the foil around the ribs, so I can create a little bit of moisture in there when I seal them up for the next few hours. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my special glaze here, and I'm going to pour it a little bit across the top. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of brush that on. Now this spicy peach glaze that I'm using right here, will just, when it seals up in there, it'll create a nice stickiness. That sweetness will absorb in those ribs, as well as the spice that's in this glaze as well. Plus those original spices that we used when we started the rib process. All right, so we got a nice glaze on there. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wrap these up. Get a nice seal going with the foil across the top. We'll roll up the ends. And then we'll just place this back on the smoker for probably another hour and a half or so. And then when we peel them back off, we'll be ready for our last steps. All right, we'll see you again in a few minutes. All right, so those ribs have been wrapped on the smoker for about 90 minutes. I just pulled them off. So let's go through the next stage. I'm sure when I open up this foil, that steam's just going to come rolling out. Oh yeah. So there's a lot of moisture here in the bottom of the foil with these ribs. Definitely are looking good. We're well on track for a great rack of baby back ribs here in a few minutes. So what I'm going to do next is, before I put them back on the smoker, I am going to top them off with just a little bit of brown sugar right across the top. Let that brown on there, keep that sweetness going. It'll create a little more crust on those ribs. All right, so from that point, I'll be ready to throw them back on the smoker for about another 45 minutes. So I'm going to finish up this rack. I'm going to unwrap this one, get them as ready as well, put them back on the smoker. So we pulled off the first rack of ribs from the smoker. It's about time to eat. So I let them sit here on this cutting board for a few minutes. Just let them rest for a few minutes, cool off just a little bit. Slide the stuff out of the way. And you can see those bones just poking out. It's nice, good glaze over the top from that initial dry rub to that marinade we put on there to that finishing off piece of the brown sugar towards the end. Pull that off and just look at those ribs. Beautiful, aren't they? Pulls right off the bone. Delicious. Perfect rib. So, with any great rib, as well as any great barbecue, you need a good beer. So today I'm going to open up Solar Haze from Sudwork Brewing. It's in Davis, California. It's a lower alcohol by volume hazy IPA. So let's give it a try. Oh, that's really light, refreshing IPA. I really like the taste of that. That'll go great with these ribs. So I'm gonna get the other rack off the smoker. I'm gonna let them cool down a little bit. And I got some friends inside. We're gonna enjoy these bad boys. Until next time, we'll see you on Bones and Brews Barbecue.